power to create may all be in our favor. Heya, welcome to Critters Lightbulb. My name is Emblem, and today I'm doing with the ft.Pippyman85. We hope to help you unlock your power to create by igniting your own lightbulb through our conversations. We cannot wait for it to explode whatever creativity you have in store. I hope you enjoy your time here, and let's begin, shall we? Pippy, please introduce yourself.
But I'm better known on the internet as Pippy. I have an animated series called Thrones, which is 90% of the time on crack, but we ignore that part. And I let drawing and stories take over my life, basically, and I also sometimes go feral at 3 a.m., and yeah, that's me.
That's something.
Yeah, that is something. I mean, my profile picture says it all.
Yeah, what is that from? What?
Drew it at 3 in the morning. That's literally how it happened.
Oh my god. Oh great. The perfect representation of you.
Yes. Me at my best.
Oh boy. Oh great. I always love crackheads on the pod.
Yes. Crackheads on the pod. I love that.
They just come in like all shapes and sizes,
Burst
I guess.
through the door.
Personalities.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. We're just gonna be stupid. It was like, here's the crackhead species Pippyman85 in its natural habitat.
I'm my own species.
Oh my god. This is gonna be something.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but we could always be down for some entertainment and interesting fun times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's just get started right off the bat and hit the ball all over the place. Thrones, what is that about?
Basically, Thrones is my animated series, and it's about this girl named Sierra, who's the daughter of an alpha in a very small pack, born into a world separated by a war dated back from over 1,000 years ago. Fun!
So that was what the, for the opening scene, that's the name, that's what you call it. That's what it was alluding to, a war.
Yeah, you get to learn more about that later on.
Ooh. Alright, when did you come up with the idea for Thrones?
I came up with it around 2016. I was 11 years old. I was a child. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something, and then I did it.
How old were you when the first episode came out?
13?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so basically, I used to have another channel, but it got deleted. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when it came out 3 years ago, because I'm 15 now. But yeah, it's old. It's getting old.
Yeah, but wow, you've improved really rapidly. Not just like art and stuff like that. You're like your storytelling. I remember like when I was auditioning for your casting call, I like binge watched Thrones.
Oh no. I hate the first few episodes.
Oh no. Have you reached I need to come up with a name for this. Have you reached first episode syndrome?
Yes, I have reached first episode. It's so bad. I'm like, I can't even watch it. I can't watch it anymore. I'm like, the writing, I hate it so much.
Well, I mean, yeah, the bright side, if you're cringing at your first episode, that means you've improved a lot, because maybe if, like, for instance, if someone was, like, on episode 10 and they thought that episode 1 was their best piece of writing, maybe that's, like, a red flag. But, I mean, I'd be proud of your work. I can't wait to hate episode 1. Oh my god. My series.
For your series, I'm like, I did the last minute audition thing and I was like, ooh, I'm so excited.
Thank you. We'll see how it goes. The casting call results are like well out of its way by this episode, so my podcast has like this whole like cinematic universe timeline at this point, because episodes are recorded in this scattered way and then you just hear about different things.
It's like when the episodes actually come out, you get to like piece them together. I think that's cool.
Yeah, like if for people that don't know, they could just like try piecing things together of like when things were actually recorded. That's funny.
Lore.
How did you like how did your 13-year-old self just like go back into the shoes of that
Oh man.
coming teenager? How did you first thought of the idea for it?
Kind of just came to me like I was just being a kid and I was like I want to make a story, but I didn't know like what I wanted to do with it. So I was just kind of like drawing out certain scenes, like very specific scenes that are still in the show. Like I still kept them, but they were like altered a bit. Like there's this scene in episode 6 which is going to come out that was the first scene I ever writ for Thrones like ever, and I'm really
Whoa.
excited. I'm really excited for people to see that because like that's probably like 4 years old, that specific idea, and it's just kind of cool watching it finally come to life.
Oh yeah, and like your refined and improved like art and writing skills. Like I
Mhm.
totally think that your younger self would be very satisfied with that.
So would probably be like, what happened? Like,
I mean, yeah, but you just wonder how your younger selves think of you.
oh, I just want to go back in time and just like, oh yeah, this actually did work out. Like, you didn't chicken out.
Oh my god, to me, I like kind of feel that because I had many story ideas when I was younger, specifically around the fetus age. Um, but,
Oh my god.
but yeah,
Perfect way I've ever seen fetus age.
but yeah, I came up with so many story ideas, and none of them ever came to light because I was I burn out so easily, and I get so bored by the minuscule beginnings. I just want to get to the good stuff already, but like I
Feel
get
you.
bored by the minuscule things, and I don't do it. And, like animations, for example, I tend to get more demotivated the more I improve as I'm doing it, because like then
Mhm.
everything is outdated and old, and it becomes disgusting to me. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you improved a lot in like art and with Thrones, and like it's so cool to see like that progression throughout episodes,
You know,
and like editing things too.
man, my editing when Thrones episode 1 came out, I only used iMovie and I made the episode entirely on my phone. On my iPhone 7.
Boom, on an
Yeah,
iPhone. Uh, throw up just listening to that. Oh my god, I can't.
it was so bad. That's another reason why I cringed so hard because I only use iMovie and like you could hear the iMovie sound effects, like you could just tell it was completely the fact that it was done on the phone, like that killed me.
Yeah, editing such long videos on iMovie is such a pain.
Even use iMovie anymore. Throw it out the window. I'm done with you.
I think like I would use iMovie for like creating voice audition videos, but like lately I've just given up on making those because I don't find a point in it anymore. And it's just like as I am like holding my own casting call, it's so much easier to just listen through audio files and YouTube videos because
Is I
yeah.
absolutely hate iMovie. Like there's just too many limits, and I never liked that. So I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Mm. I think the computer is like MacBook iMovie is just much much better because you could actually layer upon layer stuff instead of just doing one freaking layer
Oh,
of you know.
actually never owned a MacBook, so I have no. I've always wanted to try iMovie on a computer because I never owned a MacBook, and all I've ever used is my phone and my iPad with iMovie, and I know it sucks compared. So
Yeah, I got to use iMovie on my school's like MacBooks like when I was in a an after school club with
oh,
media
hey,
production. So
that's actually
yeah.
cool though.
Yeah, it does sound cool, but like it wasn't personal preference. It wasn't actually as fun as I thought it would be. It was kind of boring. That aside, yeah. Yeah, it's much less limited on a MacBook, and then, like, from someone that does, like, edit stuff on iMovie whenever I don't feel like doing it on my, computer with Shotcut. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm lazy.
good, like, simple content, like, not, like,
Mhm.
episodes, but, like,
Yeah,
like,
no.
little things you can use iMovie for if you don't wanna, like,
Mhm,
spend so much time editing other stuff.
mhm. Yeah, it's like one of those beneficial, simpler programs, but the more complicated your video will be, the more of a hard time
Yeah.
it will be.
I think I
It's
gave up
just
on iMovie episode 3 of Thrones, I was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
yeah. Then I heard you use KeyMaster.
Yes, I do!
Which that surprised me so much because, like, yeah, that you don't have a watermark on your video, so you pay for that, right?
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah.
fun time.
Is it a monthly subscription thing? Because I thought it was.
It's
Or is it just a
optional,
one
you
time?
could do either yearly or monthly. I do the monthly because yearly is, what, like, $60, maybe even more. So,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, because do you use, like, an iPad or a tablet?
yeah, I use my iPad for everything. I still haven't, like, used my I only use my computer for auditions, mainly.
Ah, okay. Because 'cause, like, I was an old Keen Master user myself, and, in my, like, Samsung tablet when I didn't have, like, iMovie, and the watermark is, like, honestly, the only worst part, but, like, it's
I
a
hate
pretty
the
decent
watermark.
editing soft it's a pretty decent editing software otherwise, and I
It is,
used it to edit a
actually.
good amount. I edited my first audition there. This stupid program, but
Stupid program.
yeah, but, how do you how do you plan episodes?
I have,
That was a
like, a
pretty big
whole
question.
Hmm?
I was just saying that was a pretty big question, Emblem. That was stupid.
Oh god. No, but basically, I have, like, this whole master sheet Google Doc of all the episodes. They're all, like, summarized and planned out, like, in chunks.
Ah.
And then I
Oh,
write them out, like, into the actual scripts, but I like to have them all, like, charted out just so, like, I, like, remember and I can change things rather than straight up
mm.
writing the scripts.
Oh, okay. Um, do you still, like, somewhat do it as, like, what your younger self did? Like, you make scenes, then you try to piece them together and
No, I
figure out
don't
when
do
they
that
fit?
anymore. That
No.
did not do me well. I still like planning out scenes in the future because, like, that's really fun to do, but I
This.
don't do it to, like, make episodes. I do it just to,
Ah.
like, now that I know what's happening in the other episodes, I can create those scenes without struggling, like, "Oh, but where is this gonna happen?" Like, you don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a good I think, like, that strategy is, like could be beneficial, like, sometimes. Maybe if, like, you're starting from scratch, then that's probably not the best
Mhm.
way to go. Like, I think you'd wanna think of a simple premise first at least, and, like, your characters and your conflict and how relationships go together and
Yeah,
just
that's how you start out usually. That's how I started out.
Mhm. And then you piece separate scenes together, but, like, "Hey, it worked out, I believe."
The power of an 11-year-old creating a series. I was like, "This
You
is fine."
who started the
Professionalism.
Dream Warrior at, like, 13. No, I was 12. I was 12. Oh, boy. Yeah. I was 12 when I started the Dream Warrior, so I'm not that far behind from you, now that I think about it.
Chil just children, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make a TV show." I just It's really fun, though, like, I'm really glad that I did it when I did it.
Mhm.
'Cause it's like it's starting it's a st you all start from somewhere, so I think it's really important that as, like, at that age, you're coming up with so many different story ideas because it starts you out, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Depending on what your character, your imagination, I believe, is strongest when you're a child. It's, like,
Yeah,
less
definitely.
plagued by the world. That was dark, but, the biggest problems in your life when you're a child, depending on how you were raised and how you were brought into this world, is just your brother like snatching away your toys or something. Um, obviously the experience is different from anyone else, and I'm mainly just joking. But kids are so much more like observant than we realize. Like they know
Yeah,
what's
definitely.
going up. And if you're like an imaginative kid like Pippi and I, then like just switched from talking to you to the audience. I am going to jump.
Gosh.
As I was saying, kids tend to be so much more observant than when like we realize, and depending on how imaginative you were as a kid or as you are now, you implement what you see of reality into fantasy.
Yeah, I was crazy imaginative as a kid. Like my cousins and I, we would always be making these stories and we'd be like acting them out. Like as little kids. Like I would be one of those people who would play warrior cats at the playground.
Oh my god!
In like fourth grade.
No, oh, I'm like, it's, I'm freaking out because not because like I had kids do that like that I know of, but like someone on the pod was like mentioning how they saw kids in the park role playing warrior cats.
Oh my god.
I love seeing the other side of the spectrum. That's
Yes,
beautiful.
it's great. I wouldn't really do it like in public areas, but like my cousins and I during family gatherings, we'd be like down in the basement creating these stories, and we'd be like role playing, we'd be creating the characters and drawing them out. Like that's basically how lots of my story ideas came, like from that imagination, and I think that's really cool. But it's also like if you're an outsider point of view and you just see that, you're kind of like, where did I go wrong?
Oh my gosh, please tell more. I love hearing about like little kid imaginations because I was there once.
Yeah. Having imagination can be like really fun. Like looking back on your childhood, you're like, damn, like that was fun. But some of the stories that we came up with were really dark, like kind of scary,
Oh,
like kind of terrifying for little 8-year-olds to be thinking of. But like, yeah, it was terrifying, but it was fun. But I just look back on my past and I'm like, that's deep. Like that's dark. Like we were doing this as 8-year-olds. Like there'd be like death and they're acting out deaths and stuff like that, and it'd be so weird.
I mean, hey, if you think about it, Avatar is a kids show catered toward your demographic at that time. So like
Oh boy,
anything is possible.
cover your kids' eyes.
But like that means you had a Warrior Cats bad story. Am I right?
Sort of. I've actually never really like watched Warrior Cats. Not watched. What am I saying? Read, read Warrior Cats. But I always watch the videos on YouTube, and I just
Oh my
like
god,
sort of
yes.
use that as an example because there are lots of little kid Warrior Cat role players out there. If you're watching this, shout out to you guys.
But do you remember anything of that?
Yes, very detailed memories.
Yes, okay. Oh my god. Because like the thing is that like I think Warrior Cats was just like cultivated like somehow to like just cater towards those types of kids because like
Yeah,
world
definitely.
building is great and in my opinion it is. Well, it's a
No,
bit
it is. I love world building. It's so fun.
yeah. I feel like it's been a bit wavering since the Aaron Hunters run out of ideas lately.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie cats, but whatever.
Because they're coming out with so many books I see still, and I'm like, whoa, like they're still going.
Yeah, because the fan base is still alive and strong. Like so many people were like so many people on this podcast were inspired by Warrior Cat like videos on YouTube. And I just find it so funny. Like
No, like the Warrior Cats animation community is still booming. Like it's always been
Mhm.
booming since like 2009. Like, you can find some really old videos of Warrior Cats, and it's still going, like, heavily strong. Like, you see so many MAP parts, map parts, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just scrolled through my recommendations and I'm just like, I can't wait to see the Ash Fur and Squirrel fight fire scene for like the millionth time today. Hell yeah.
So
No
many of them
shade,
out
man.
there.
Just so cool to like see, like, as redundant as the scene may be to some people, like it's just cool to see like people's interpretations and like all their art animation styles and like how
It's
they
really
adapt the
cool.
books.
Lots of the Warrior Cats animators are, like, really talented. Like, really, really talented.
Yeah, it's like,
Been doing that for years.
so good. I'm not gonna be the I've said this before, but like I'm not gonna be the person to do this, but like I would sell like an arm to see an animated series of Rise of the Clans or Dawn of the Clans.
Ooh, that would be
That's
really cool.
no, cause like, but because like again, this is like no shade meant, but like a lot of the Warrior Cat like adaptations from the books tend to be focused more on the Fourth Apprentice or like right from the beginning into the wild, and I have no idea why. Because it's funny to me that the Fourth Apprentice is what I think to be one of those common ones, because I don't think it had some good reception, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I see lots of Into the Wild content, and then I also see lots of the, like, Ash vs. Fire content. Like, I see that a lot because it's very popular. Like, you don't really... You do see other stuff from the books, but, like, not as much as, like, other certain points in the series.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I think that, like, something with, like... Okay, so I, like, read something where, like, the Tribe Cats are not really... No one makes fanfiction of the Tribe Cats, like, no one, and I have yet to see one, but I think that's, like, just because they were written kind of boring, only when the Warrior Cats of the clans just needed a vacation, apparently. But well, not really, just like a journey. But yeah, I just like just want to see new content. I'm not
feel
gonna make it,
you.
even though I should. But like, I haven't read the whole Dawn of the Clans, but like, I just want to see it adapted. Like, I've only read the first book, but it's just so interesting because it's it's a good prequel arc.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, if that's in the works, please, please, please let me know.
Pray, pray. Please, please.
But yeah, besides, I guess enough about that Warrior Cats, and let's just hop right back into the
We
realm.
just got into, like, a whole frenzy. It all dawned because I brought up the Warrior Cat roleplay playground stuff.
It's fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, but okay, what inspired the shift to role playing outside of Warrior Cats to making your own series that involves wolves?
To be honest, I was, like, just scrolling through YouTube someday, and I found an animated series, and I was like... And I've never seen anything like this before, like, on YouTube up until this point. And I clicked on it because I was like, ooh, this looks cool. And then I did, and then I was like, I want to make this my entire life. And I was like, I'm gonna make my own, and then I did, and yeah.
You just looked, and then like you saw a portal next to you, and just like, hey, I'm just gonna yeet into the vortex now, and you
Jump
did, and now
in.
you're stuck.
Yeet self into the world of animation.
And we
I
can't
literally had
escape
zero clue that community existed until that one video was recommended to me, and I was like, oh.
it. Do you remember that video?
Yes, it was actually an animated series that it's pretty old, but not really. Yeah, I assume you've heard of Blood Brothers.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that was the series that introduced me to animation, like the whole animated series community.
Ah, that's new. I have yet to hear that series being brought up. It's
Yeah,
like their
so
first time.
I think episode 3 was the one that was brought up to me. But after that, I was like, whoa, this is really cool. So then at the time, the series already completed. It like the finale came out a couple weeks prior to that. So I like binge watched the whole series and I fell in love.
Oh my gosh, is there like any did you like after that did you try searching for more and like do you remember the first like other first ones you saw?
Remember which other ones I saw, but I remember getting into 12 like in 2017, I think. And 12
Heck yeah.
really, I loved 12 so much.
Me too. Trust me, it's one of my inspirations. It's so we got Blood Brothers, we got 12. Did you discover like the Warrior Cats like animation community before or after you discovered the animated series?
Discovered after, which I didn't expect because after joining the community, I realized there's like more than half of it is warriors. So I'm actually kind of surprised that I wasn't introduced to it through that.
Ah, yeah. Wow, you got introduced to the whole thing in reverse. That's funny.
No, like I see other people's experiences and they say, "Oh, I was brought here through warriors," and I'm like, "Oh, the opposite."
Yeah, did you watch like SSS
That's
Warrior Cats? Oh my
that's.
god.
I have heard of it and I've watched a few of the episodes. I can't remember which ones they were, but yes, I've definitely heard a lot about it.
Yeah. I wasn't even like that I wasn't even that old, but like I was so young when those came out, so like I don't think I ever really like watched them because I didn't really have that much access to YouTube. But then like just watching them for the first time felt like a nostalgia trip down the early 2000s. So it was kind of something.
As someone who like barely even watched it, like even me watching it for the first time, I was like, "Whoa!" Like this takes me back to my MS Paint days,
Oh my god,
Microsoft Paint days.
you drew an MS Paint.
Oh God, you don't even want to know. I
Well, now I do, so specify.
okay, so that's kind of how I started out drawing digitally. I feel like everyone has this story of starting out in MS Paint. I know a lot
Yeah,
of,
because I did too.
but it was on my grandpa's like
Oh my.
2008 laptop, and it had MS Paint, and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." And I was like 9 at the time, and I still have like old art files of all these characters that ended up being Throne's characters. And I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
oh my god. Some of it's kind of terrifying looking.
How far have like the character designs changed since then? MS Paint
Some
days.
have, some have changed a lot, and some have literally not changed at all.
Oh my god, please tell.
Sierra changed a lot, actually. Not really like. Well, actually, I would say big changes. I actually have this like really old drawing sheet of all her old versions, but there was one where she had a black palette and she had like blue eyes. She was, and I thought
Ooh.
that's what Casper looks like now, actually. But I was like, I'm gonna change that. So then I made her like a dark gray with green eyes, and then I was like, I'm gonna make it more bluish because I like the bluish color to her. So I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do that, and then that's Sierra's very plain looking, which I kind of regret. Like, if I were to redesign her now, I'd make her look more interesting because she's just Sierra.
On the bright side, at least you don't have to draw any meticulous like spots or something
That is
every time
very
you draw her.
helpful, being she's the main character. Like, I don't have to worry about her screen time and like drawing her complicated design. Like, it's easier for me.
Yeah, go with simplicity for your sanity.
Yeah, simplicity can be really charming too. Like, you don't have to like make your designs like crazy detailed for them to be good.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, that's just my take on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like speaking from like I guess like an artist's perspective or creator's
Artist.
perspective, like, like it's not just the amount of things in the character design. It's also what they, I guess, what they mean, or like it's just like I especially love character designs. I suck at character design, so I don't really do this,
Same,
but I
I
should
suck at
try.
them.
Um, but like even like humans have like a no one draws humans, but like humans have the ability to be very expressive with their character design because of like what they wear, like stereotype stuff. Like all
Mhm.
black is like emo or goth, and then like all pink is like, and just like peppy is just like the popular girl. So I, like you
Yeah.
can say stuff like that, and it's always nice to have like a juxtaposition or something to the character designs and the actual personality. But I'm gonna really care more about your like character personality than what you
Mhm.
can do in what the character actually looks like, and it's even better if what the character is like is portrayed through the character design. That was a whole bunch of convoluted mess, but like okay.
While humans are like hard to draw, like I hate drawing people. I feel like it's so much easier to make them expressive, like with their designs at least, because they can wear like clothing to express like how they are as a person. Whereas like it depends on your series, but for my series, like they're
Not wearing t-shirts.
yeah, they're not they don't have clothing to express themselves, so you kind of really have to look at their design, like how they are, like how you perceive them. That sounds so weird. Like I don't, I feel like that doesn't make sense.
No, I
But
think it does.
but yeah, that's basically how I see it.
Yeah, and first of all, your human style is amazing, so I can't believe
It
I
takes
mean
me
like
hours to do though. I'm like, the hands are the worst. Cannot handle hands.
I know. Yeah,
Cannot handle hands. I'm sorry.
but
I'm sorry.
um sorry, I'm recovering from that. But like gave me
I
whiplash.
attacked you with my awful puns.
um and second of all, I absolutely love the design of the mountain tribe. Like I just there's something about the pack's like designs and how that's put is like translated into like the mountain tribe. I just think it's
Thank
cool.
you. They're my favorite designs. One of my favorite designs of the series. I was really proud of those.
Yeah. Did those designs like change that much or
Not really, actually. They've basically stayed the same all throughout the series. Like as I was during production, it never really changed. Because I really liked the original designs I had for them, so I kept them, and I'm happy I did.
Mhm. It seemed like a pain to draw continuously over and over though, but like
Oh yeah, that I'm not ready for. That I'm very scared for. But I think the designs are gonna be fun either way. It's not gonna be fun when I'm animating them, but they're just like cool, I guess, to look at.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and animating them. Have you
Mm.
thought of like ever wanting to animate Thrones?
See, Thrones was originally gonna be animated, and you can see in the second and third episodes there's like lip sync, but there's like very minimal animation. The reason
Mhm.
why I stopped doing animation for Thrones is because I use Procreate, and Procreate is not a fun program to animate on. So
Uh,
I was like, I'd rather do a PNB style and make it kind of look more visually pleasing rather than animate it and have it more flat looking, I guess.
okay. Yeah, it's an exchange to everything. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah, animating is a pain. I don't know how people get it done so fast, but
it's yeah,
okay.
it's not fun. I'm a slow animator, so I knew that like if I continued to animate this, I'd be like, I'm probably not going to get it done. And
Mhm,
I really want to tell the story, so I figured it'd be easier if I did it PMV, but like still
mhm.
make it look nice in a way to the point where it doesn't like, you know what I'm saying?
Where it doesn't look that boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm I know that I mean, like I said before, that personally me, I get burnt out too easily, so I don't want to risk getting too burnt out by continuously putting so much detail into the drawing. So I kind of ended up making a compromise for myself. Well, the characters, they are kind of they aren't really shaded that detailed, or they don't look. Characters themselves are just color and line art. That's it. But the backgrounds I put effort into.
Oh yeah, the backgrounds. Backgrounds are really fun to do, but at the same time, it's also kind of hell. Like,
Mhm.
because it depends on the atmosphere you're doing and whether you're used to that sort of art. Like, you got for backgrounds, I feel like I step out of my comfort zone a lot.
Ah.
With creating them, but it's still fun. It's fun to do and make them all detailed and then see how they turn out in the end.
Yeah, I've been experimenting a lot with brushes with backgrounds and stuff like that, and the
Brush
ruler
experiments are
tool is
so
also really
fun.
cool. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I just said brush experiments are so fun.
They are for art fit. I've been doing a lot of brush experiments and just paint and different techniques digital painting. Whether I do a hit or miss on them is just it's random, but I guess experimentation's really fun and frustrating all at the same time.
Mhm.
But so yeah, so you've been continuing Thrones for about 2
Years. It's been going on for 3 years because I remember I missed the 3-year anniversary 2 weeks ago
Oh
of the first
yeah.
episode coming. Oh no, I forgot.
Yeah, I saw that. And yeah, I was just kind of wondering if there were any points where you just was this is taking too long. I can't
I
this is
think
annoying.
I think episode 3 was I was I kind of wanted to stop with the lip sync, just animation. I figured I just kind of thought I'd be burnt out if I kept doing it this way, and I wouldn't have the motivation to finish it that way. So I thought might as well change it up and make it PMV instead. And I'm very happy I did. I'm so grateful that I did that because I saved myself and I was able to make it more detailed. And yeah.
All right. You have do you have other story ideas that are in the works throughout the trash? Would plan
I
on
do.
making and developing after you finish Thrones? Is there any of that?
Yeah, there is actually. I have this one other story that I'm not going to say much about because I'm still considering bringing it out in public eventually. I might do it. I'm not going to do it in an animated series form. I'd probably do it in more so a comic. But
Ah,
I have this story about aliens.
aliens.
The difference between Thrones, a wolf series, and then aliens. But yeah, I have that, and then I came up with this other story a couple weeks ago, actually. It was,
Ooh.
I had a dream, basically, and I was in the dream, but if I interpret it into a story, I'm gonna make this an entirely different character. But there was this, girl I was lost in the tundra, basically, and I, ran into this wolf thing, this wolf thing. I ran into this talking wolf, this girl, and she was I don't know, grr, you're a person, I don't like you. And then I was why don't you it was this weird thing, and then there was a horse. Where the horse came from. But obviously, this happened a couple weeks ago, so I don't have a story planned out. But I thought the concept was interesting, so I might do something with that in the future. I'm not sure, maybe a short film or something. But yeah, I want to develop that into
Ooh.
something because I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Dreams are just honestly so many good story ideas have come out of dreams or thinking in the shower, but depending
Yes,
on
I totally feel
you.
you there.
Yeah,
Shower thoughts.
Yeah, I had a good amount of story ideas from dreams, but they never like developed into major story ideas. They were always minor, and
Yeah, same here.
yeah, it's a weird divide between like I don't know anyone else that kind of has this, but like I have a divide between story ideas, major and minor, and I have
Me
six
too.
major, which I call the major. Wait, is it seven? Oh, I think it's six. I have this thing called the major six, which is like all these story ideas that are like they're more than backups, but like they're just everything in my head that have been developed way more than like a regular story idea. Um, and then I have the minor story ideas, which I usually only have like one or two docs for, and they're just like, hey, this would be cool, like to think about, but like I don't really plan on making it a thing. It's just for my head.
Yeah, it's just for you, like, just have a fun story that you could just develop in your spare time.
Yeah, and I have a lot more minor story ideas than major, obviously. And there really is no determining factor whether a minor story idea becomes major because like
Mhm.
it just happens like in a snap, just because. While minor story ideas that are developed a bit more than usual aren't really crossing
Yeah.
that threshold yet. I don't know, the mind is strange.
It is very strange. I feel like I've had so many, like, crazy dreams that I could put into stories, and sometimes I'll be like, "I'm gonna jot that down," like, as soon as I wake up, and I think dreams can really, like, influence, because anything can happen in a dream, really, and it could bring cool stories that you wouldn't even think of, but it just comes to you.
Yeah, that's why I feel like dreams are just like an underrated plot element because you could just have like, oh, I'm riding on horseback and I'm going across the sea with it and have it make sense all just because you say it was a dream. Oh, wait, what did you say?
Frozen 2, quaking.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I just had to bring that up.
No, that was wonderful. I didn't even realize. I
Oh
was
my
thinking of just like a normal horse, like a normal brown horse, and you just like, I'm gonna
gosh.
go ride the sea with this, and then
I
it
don't know
just
why, but my mind immediately went to Frozen 2.
no, your mind had all right too. That's hilarious. No, I was literally just thinking of like I'm just riding on horseback and I'm just struggling on the swimming horse, and then we just which makes sense. Um, before we get into questions, I guess there's just like one more topic that I just want to dive into, and that is voice acting. Yeah, so when did you start auditioning for stuff for in voice acting?
Really started in like 2018. I auditioned for a couple of stuff and I did get roles, but
Ooh.
those series actually ended up being canceled. So,
Oh.
yeah. But I decided to take a break for a little while, which I did, and I'm just now getting back into it, and I'm so glad I did because I have so much fun with it.
Yeah, where does that love come from? Do you take theater or you just enjoy doing it to do
I
it?
did actually used to do theater. I don't do it anymore because I got shy, I guess. But voice acting is still really fun because you can literally do it in the comfort of your own home and you're just kind of screaming into a mic.
Voice acting is for inner actors with stage anxiety. That's it.
And
That's a voice acting.
mhm.
But yeah, there's like this restrictions here on out. But yeah, it's so interesting. The amount of people I know that like okay theater and did that sort of stuff because I don't I didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
One theater play thing, and then I was like, I'm too shy to do this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, at least you tried it out.
It actually was a really fun experience. I did enjoy it while I did it.
Yeah. I'm kind of I'm kind of in and out on it because like it looks so fun and I'd like to be on stage and do that sort of stuff and like I'm already like halfway there because I am voice acting, which is just another it's a valid form of acting. It's just half
Is
the people.
people.
I can't translate body language well. That's my issue because it isn't just in your voice that time when you're on the theater. So yeah.
Sometimes I either have a lot of body language or none at all, and I'm just standing there. You know that like person standing emoji that's just there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
me sometimes. And I'm like, oh, that's what I look like.
Yeah. So you said you were doing this started 2018?
Yeah, I started in 2018 with I didn't have a microphone then. So it was literally just me and my iPhone recording on voice memos.
I mean, I'm constantly shocked by how many people record on iPhone because it's lately like microphone qualities on phone has been really good. So
Yeah, definitely. Back in 2018, I had my iPhone 7, so that was not very reliable, but I
Mhm.
think it's definitely improved since then, so lots more people have access to voice acting because of that, I feel.
Mhm. Yeah, this is like somewhat related to, well, it is related to voice acting, but like, what's it like? I guess it's on the other side of the stick. What's it like being actor and like directing all and writing script and like directing this voice acting and having a cast?
Really, really fun. I had so much fun with it. I remember when I first started out, I was like really scared because I was a 12-year-old and I was like, what am I gonna do with all these people? I was like, I had no idea where I was going with this, but I think I got the hang of it pretty quickly. And it's a lot of fun, like getting to know your cast and like kind of becoming
Mhm.
like a family, I guess you could say.
Aw.
Yeah, that's how I view it as, and it's really cool, like getting to know all these people and then watch them bring your characters to life. It like just makes me so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm currently going through that ride right now. We're
Yeah,
gonna have a guest soon, so that's
fun, like listening to the auditions and just trying to see the character through their voice, and then when you like just get that one specific audition, you're like, "That's this character." Like you just kind of know it, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have, like, people that audition that, like, you admit weren't, like, exactly the perfect fit, but, like, but you still casted them anyway, but, like, the more you listen to them, the more they grew into your character and you just started to absolutely adore it?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I just love to like hmm, maybe I can have this character. Like, if I hear someone's audition, I'm like, maybe I'll let them try this character and see like how they interpret them. And then they end up like growing on me so much, and I'm like, this is so cool. I love this. Like, I'm so glad. Like, it
Mhm.
just makes me really happy.
Yeah, because 'cause I'm definitely having, like, that thing right now where, like, the more I listen to these audition, the more I imagine it actually working out, and now I'm attached.
Like, I'll have a certain idea of what one character sounds like, but then I get an audition from someone and they completely make me do a 180 and I'm like, "Whoa, I actually really like this voice." And I was like,
Yeah.
I think this is going to work for this character." And then it just
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, it's always so shocking when you have like a voice range that you want the character to like have, but then I always like I stated in the rules I think we're like, hey, even if this your voice doesn't necessarily fit this voice range, audition for it anyway. And I'm so glad that
Mhm.
like I encourage that because of that, like a voice range I had for a character doesn't necessarily suit this auditioner's a take of it, but like it's so good. It's like it fits so well.
I love being surprised by the voice actors' auditions. It's so fun because then I'm like, they can just completely change my mind in one audition. I'm like, whoa,
Mhm.
this is cool. I want them. Like,
I don't know how to word this question. Would you consider yourself like confident in your voice acting?
be honest, not really. It depends actually, because I feel like I'm confident in a certain like area. Like you know how people sort of like have their certain areas where they're confident and that they're good in that like specific range.
Mhm.
That's kind of like how I feel. Like I feel like I can do hyperactive children very well because of the fact that I inhale coffee right before I do audition. I'm like, inhale the coffee, and then I just go ham with children. I feel like that's like my area of Like,
Expertise.
I'm not an expert in any way. Just in a way. But I definitely also think that people should experiment, like test their limits, like see where their range can go, because you can be very surprised in yourself what can come out of that. I feel like experimentation is very important.
Yeah, have you tried experimenting with like perhaps your lower range?
I have actually. I do have a lower range, but like I feel like I don't use it a lot in terms of voice acting. And sometimes I'll experiment by myself, even though my
Yes.
parents probably think I'm like they're probably very concerned because I'm just like like I just sound like so angry because I like to kind of try out villain voices, I guess, too, because those are
Yes.
really, really fun. And then I wonder what my parents think as I'm like rehearsing these somewhat violent lines, and they're like, is everything okay in there? There's been so many times where I thought I've been home alone and I'm voice acting, and I'm like either crying or yelling or something, and then my parents are like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine.
Nothing's wrong here.
Nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I'm just screaming into a microphone.
Do your friends know that you do this?
Yes, they actually do.
Yes. You better be supportive of it.
Oh no, they are. They'll sometimes just watch my videos and they'll like just spam me
Oh,
privately. Yeah.
wow, they're one of those people. That's amazing though to get that.
My friends are they're not like on Discord much, but like they like privately message me and they're just like screaming.
Do they? I'm glad. I'm assuming they would like know about Thrones and
Yeah,
that
they
sort of.
do.
Do they think you're insane for hosting a show all by yourself?
Hi. They're like how does this even work?
They just
Even
don't
my
even.
parents like kind of know about it. Like there's sometimes like they're like, "Oh, are you on with your theater friends?" I'm like, "Yes, I am on with I'm
Your
my theater
friends.
friends."
Kind of not wrong though.
Yeah, kind of not wrong. There's a range.
Okay. How many questions do we have? We have like 12. Are
Oh
you
man,
ready?
let's
Jeez.
go.
All right. Question number 1 from Gunnar. Who are the characters closest to your heart?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. That's such a cute question too.
I
Uh,
know.
I like it. The characters probably closest to my heart are either Lydia or Sierra. You don't see Lydia yet, but I feel like Sierra's stupidity is very reflected off of my own. And
Oh my.
she just doesn't think sometimes, and I can relate to that. And I just like I have a connection with her, and you kind of see a little bit of me reflected onto her later in the series. Like I kind of project myself onto her in a way.
All right, and then Lydia, I mean, without spoiling too much, obviously, is just the complete opposite.
Creating Lydia was really fun. I love her character, which, like I said, like you said, I can't really say much about her yet. But
Mm.
once you get to know her, I think like you'll kind of understand why. I love her so much.
All right. Question number 2, also from Gunnar. How did you learn to draw?
How did I learn to draw? Well, it all started when little Pippyman85 was sitting in the first grade classroom, and our teacher said, "All right, class, today we're drawing self-portraits." And Mini Pippi was very happy about this, and then boom, I am a world-class artist. No, I'm
Heck
kidding.
yeah.
No, but for real, I started drawing seriously like around 2015, like digitally, I guess you could say. So I was like
Mhm.
10 years old when I started like actually drawing. And that's also around the time, like very shortly after, that's when I came up with the idea of Thrones, and I just started drawing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really. I was mainly self-taught, basically.
Yeah. Art classes, pff, gross.
Classes. Who needs those?
um, Besides MS Paint, what was like your first digital drawing program?
You know, Animation Creator HD.
I feel like I've heard of it.
Maybe you recognize Framecast because I used Framecast for a while.
Uh, I think I
You don't
think
know
so. They sound like familiar names.
iPad user stuff. iPad user type.
I mean,
But
I just know
no.
flip a
Hmm.
clip. I just know flip a clip.
Oh, Flip a Clip. I've never used Flip a Clip, which is like I feel like that's very surprising because I feel like most digital artists like that use tablets always start on Flip a Clip. I never touched Flip a Clip in my life.
You just refused.
Yeah, I refuse. I just like never tried it, I guess. I don't know why, and I'm very surprised because I would see it everywhere and I just never used it. It was never a
Um,
program I was ever not that I wasn't interested in it. It was just I don't know.
okay. Um, Question number 3 from Dan Deceiver. Why do you bark? That's rough.
Of course I would be the one to
But
ask. Well, thank you to the Dan Deceiver for your question. Free will. Free will, let me bark. I don't need a reason to bark.
that's rough. Rough. I hate puns.
Oh my gosh. No. It had to sink in for a second. No. But yes, that I can confirm. I bark.
Yeah, I guess you also howl with laughter.
Oh yeah, that too. There are many different things that the Pippyman85 species does with their
Yep,
voice.
that was also a pun.
Oh my god. No, that was unintentional.
Howl, howling with laughter.
Oh
Howl.
god.
Yeah. Okay, moving on before I eventually kill us both with terrible
Terrible
humor.
puns.
Um, Question number 4 from Garden Salad. What advice do you have for making the relationships between characters authentic?
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I actually really like that question. I think that's a really cool one. But for me, basically making relationships more authentic, I always try to put myself in the character's shoes in certain situations and think how the relationship is going to be. Like,
Hmm.
is it going to be a caring relationship or is it going to be more of an unstable relationship? And I feel like relationships deal with a lot of cause and effect. Like I take a moment to get myself into the character's point of view with their mindset, and I do this for both of the characters on both ends of the relationship. And
Hmm.
whether platonic or not, I think it's important to do this because relationships, healthy or not, like aren't flat. Like there's depth to them, I feel.
Huh.
And I feel like that depth is very important to explore, like to make the relationship more dynamic. And I feel like that's done really well in the animated series community. But yeah, that's just how I see it at least. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I agree. Do you are, you are some of relationships inspired with like your friends, for example, or any like real life sort of thing?
They are actually. I was gonna get into this. Like, I reflect lots of people I know personally, like into characters in my series. Like, Coco is based off of one of my best friends, and like
Huh?
she's very inspired off of her and her personality. And I think it's kind of cool to do that because it's kind of like inserting yourself into these characters and just sort of like you get more of a personable feel to them in a way.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember reading this quote. Don't know who it's by. Probably J.K. Rowling, but I don't remember. But it says something about like characters. When creating characters, all you're doing is just taking apart pieces of yourself and putting them into them.
I
Uh,
love that quote so much because I definitely interpret that into Thrones. I feel
yeah, because I mean, it's hard to. I feel like it's It's hard to truly make a character from scratch that isn't related to you somehow. Like, yeah, no matter how diverse like characters and people and just figures are, like there's always something that will just like be in common with them, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Yeah,
Like,
even if it's like the complete opposite of you, perhaps.
yeah. Like, for villains or like characters that are like, I don't know, just like antagonists in general, I feel like when I create those characters, I sort of like reflect all my like emotions, like whether it be like anger, this or whatever. Like I'll put that into the character to make them feel sort of like I like to put lots of emotions reflected off of me into my characters. Like not like thoughts, like their motives, but just like how they're feeling in a way.
Ah, I see. Um, question number 5 from Happy. Will the acapella group ever get a musical number? The
Hmm.
important questions here.
Will they? Who knows? It will be unsolved. But it's actually really funny because last night, me and Happy were talking. She posted something on her Instagram story about she got an accordion for her birthday. And I replied to her
Oh my
story
god,
and I was like, I'm going to give Jasmine an accordion now that just comes up out of random. And yes, we're making it canon now. She just has an accordion stored somewhere.
Oh my god. Now I'm curious. I want to got a tiny accordion for my birthday. This is the best thing ever. Oh, that is amazing. Oh my god.
Accordions are really fun. I've never played one, but like just hearing them, they sound so fun to play.
Accordions. Accordions give off happy vibes. You know what?
Do. They absolutely do.
You know, the new English, the new acapella group is just a bunch of extras from the last scene of episode 6.
Oh my
Or like,
god.
and they're
They're just
just
like in the background, they're like the chorus. They're just like all singing in like a perfect harmony. I can
hell
just
yeah.
picture all of you guys just like getting into a room and just going ham. Like with get your recorders, everybody.
All right. Question number 6 from Dancing Dragon. Who or what was your very first inspiration that got you into animation?
Neon Wolf artist. Ever since I watched Blood Brothers, I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to create my own series.
Hmm. So that's the name of the person. Okay, noted.
Yeah, Neon Wolf artist.
All right. Question number 7 from Child of Destiny. What tips would you give for those who desire to become a voice actor and or struggling VAs?
As someone who's just getting into it, I'm sort of in this position too. But I think like of the most important thing is just have a blast with it. Like, don't overanalyze it and just kind of have fun with your auditions. Because when you're not tense, when you're just like having a good time, like interpreting these characters, like it can bring a lot out of you that you wouldn't even realize is there. Like,
Hmm.
just kind of let yourself be expressive. Like, don't hold back, I feel. And don't hesitate either, because I do this. And we were just talking about this earlier. Like, don't. I feel like hesitating is what you said. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I think it's important that you just take a leap of faith and just have fun with it. Just give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you better keep that in mind when you see a casting call you very much like, and if you start getting intimidated by it, you don't want to do it. Say, "Frick, then I'm not listening to you," and shove it aside and defenestrate it, and
Yes.
then do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, Pippi's right. At the end of the day, we're all just losers screaming into microphones, so who cares?
That's the whole gist of it.
That's not what they said, but like, but we're all just here to have fun. I don't know anyone who takes this like too seriously. I don't know if like the professional people take it that seriously either, but like, of course, there is some level of professionalism, but like, not overtly professional. I mean, I don't like
Yeah.
being too overtly professional because that's why.
feel like if you feel like you have a connection with the character you want to audition for, that's a really good thing to have, because you can kind of see yourself through the character and really feel their emotions, and I think that's like something really interesting that people do, and it's cool. It's cool to watch.
Question number 8 from Savage Kiku. How often do you work on Thrones?
Every day of my life, I work on Thrones.
I
I mean,
wish that was me.
sometimes I don't work on it a lot during the day. Like, I try to work at least 2 hours on it every day or every other day, because I don't want to work too religiously on it to avoid burnout, because I have dealt with burnout before. It is the worst thing in the world. You just feel like so much dread, and it's just a horrible feeling. So I feel like taking taking my time on it and just like pacing out how much I work on it is really important, so you don't sort of lose the drive to create it. Because I think passion's very important when you're creating a series, and once like the passion burns out, you're kind of just like, ugh, like you kind of feel stuck in a pit, I feel, and that's no fun.
Yeah, I should I think it's a really good idea to like implement or maybe try a daily schedule. I don't know if that's going to change once school starts
School
for
just throws everything out the window.
for college classes. Homework.
What is school? Who needs education?
Yeah, but I think that's a good way to avoid burnout. I just hope that it doesn't get like too routinely or like you start dreading those simple 2 hours.
You just have to pace yourself. Like, do only as much as you think you can handle for that day. Like, don't overwork yourself, because that's just going to make you feel not good when you're... Because you're going to feel like you're rushing it once you sort of overdo it. And you don't want to, like, have yourself feel that way. Because mentally it can be really draining, and I think it's just important to, like, make sure to take care of yourself while you're working on whatever projects you have.
Yeah, I definitely like totally get that and sort of relate to it because like I'm making I'm just starting out my series. I'm learning a lot through it, but like one of my like what I said before, one of my biggest downfalls is easily getting burnt out and demotivated, and it's showing through episode 1's progress. Scene 1.
Nah, I feel you. Episode 6, the current one I'm working on, I had a burnout between, like, right in the middle, because my art style was changing, like, kind of rapidly, and I kept getting, like, kind of discouraged with the art, I guess, in that episode. But I realized that you just, like, growing is a part of it, and it's really important. So I kind of just learned to accept that, like, it's okay to not, like, you shouldn't set too high standards of yourself, if you know what I mean. Like, you shouldn't, like, make yourself feel like you have to be this or you have to be that. Just have fun with it.
Yeah,
Having fun
exactly.
is the most important thing, I feel. Because if you're not having fun, then, like, it's, like, what's the point? Like, having fun, like, it makes everything so much better. It makes you enjoy what you do, and I think that's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, do you believe that maybe like Discord, for example, or just like your overall community surrounding Thrones is like motivating for you too?
It really is. I love my cast. I love everyone who works on Thrones, because, like, to me, they just bring it entirely to life, my cast, and my community is just really... They're a lot like me in the sense that, like, we're all feral. We just scream in the Discord at 1 in the morning, and it just makes me happy, and it makes me realize that, like, if I didn't create Thrones, I wouldn't have this right now. Like, I wouldn't be able to experience this, and I think it's just really fun.
Yeah, I totally get that too. I think the community is like a very strong factor because like I mean there are many reasons why someone may cancel a series, but I think one of them is like lack of support.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's hard for everyone, like because it's such a big commitment and you're like sparing so much of your life
It
to
really is.
put your dream out there. And that's taxing for anyone. And if you're not getting support about your decision and your efforts, then I don't think you're gonna want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Because
It's
I
just my
feel
two
like
cents.
lots of the people who had their series canceled, they were, like, just so intensely pressured sometimes, because
Mhm.
they kind of felt like they had to do this or they had to do that. Like, I just feel like support from communities and just like overall good vibes is really important for a series. Like, for a series to thrive at its best, I feel.
Totally agree. Let's move on. To number 9 from RoboFox. How did you get the idea to start your show?
To be honest, it literally just smacked me in the face. Like, it just came to me. I just started creating characters, and I was like, I just started developing a story based on those characters. Like, it wasn't really a specific, like, drive. I just thought it would be really fun to create a series, and then as I developed the story, I became more confident in it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. But to be honest, when I first uploaded the casting call, like right before I was going to upload the first casting call, I was really doubting myself. Like, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I had no clue how to do any of this. Like, I didn't even know how this is gonna work, but I feel like I'm really, really glad that I did it in the end, because I made so many friends because of this. I made so many friendships, and I just feel like my life changed so much since I created Thrones, just because of the people you get to meet, and like, I just think that's really great.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's just really nice to have those types of people, and it's like, it's comforting. It's like nice to know
Oh
that
yeah,
people like appreciate like what you're doing and that they're excited and all that jazz.
when
um,
it feels like a second home to you, it's sort of like it's
oh
kind of like you find your people. It's like a whole little group, and it's just so fun.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Question number 10 from Coughing Fish. If you could have any voice actor, popular or not, voice in your series, who would it be and what kind of character would you have them play?
Right now, I just feel like they're absolutely perfect for their roles. Like, I love my cast so much. Like, I cannot ramble enough about how amazing they are and how cool they interpret the characters. But a certain voice actor whose work I've always admired was Devin Black. I've always loved his
Ah,
voice work. I see him in so many series, and his voice range and his talent is like unmatched. Like, I love it so much. But I'm not really sure what type of character I would have him play, but I just love his voice work and I really admire it.
have you casted all the characters in like Thrones so far, or if like Thrones season 1, if you're having that?
I think it'd be 2 seasons. It was gonna be a 2-season series, but then I just
Mhm.
like made it just one full series without 2 seasons.
Okay.
But I mean, episode 10 is going to be considered the mid-series finale, and I'm going to go on like a small hiatus, I guess you could say. Not a
Ah,
long
yeah.
one, but just like a short one, and then I'm going to continue. Sort of like how in TV show seasons have like seasons 1A and 1B, sort of like
Ah,
that.
yeah. Um, question 11 from Randy. What would happen if you put your most hated character and your most loved character by you, like your faves, in a house for a week?
Um,
He always asks random questions like this.
oh man. Let's just say all hell would break loose. To be honest, I don't have a favorite character or a least favorite character. Like, to be honest, I love them all in their own special ways.
Mhm.
But either way, if I could put any two characters in a room together, no matter what, there's gonna be chaos. They're all gonna go crazy. Because I feel like all my characters just like have this hidden feral, because I like interpret them from me, so I feel like if two of my characters were just locked in a room, it would just be,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Oh boy.
There would be lots of arson and fire.
Yeah. Actually, does the Thrones community kind of have like their most hated character and their most favorite character? Have you like ever run one of those polls before, or is it just speculation?
Sure, like who their favorite or who their least favorite is, but I think they like Zephyr a lot for some reason. I mean, there are lots of memes of my characters. Like, I feel like there's lots of memes with Sierra. Like, have you seen the Sierra Mist meme where I put like Sierra's face on a Sierra
Yes.
Mist bottle? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the most memeable characters are the ones people really like, because my series is just full of crack characters, the
Mhm.
behind the scenes, like in the act, like aside from the actual series, we just play around with my characters, and we basically torture them.
All right. Question number 12 from Randy also. Do you have any prequels/sequels planned for Thrones? And if so, could you expand on them more? If not, what about any other series?
Do have a prequel written out, and I really want to do a prequel, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. But I am gonna like write it out if people want to see that. Like after the series is complete, I'm gonna
Ooh.
have it written out like to the public. But maybe I'll make it in a comic form someday. But or maybe even a mini series. Who knows? It depends on where I'm at the end of the series. But there was actually a sequel once. I did have a sequel written out, but I trashed it.
Oh. Why?
I felt like there was no direction for it. I made the sequel as I was creating the original Throne, so I literally had no idea why I had no reason to make a sequel. And once I like fully expanded Thrones, like once I was fully sure of where I wanted the series to go, I realized like I think the end of Thrones is a perfect closer. Like it doesn't need a sequel. But I think a prequel would be fun to do.
It isn't too spoilery. What's the prequel about?
Prequel sort of focuses on Azriel and Zephyr's childhood, sort of, and how they were brought up, sort of. And it also features Lydia, Fern, Penelope, like all those characters that were in the casting call that you don't get to meet yet. You get a glimpse, like you get an episode dedicated to their past later on, but I really want to like fully expand on their journey because I think that's really interesting. I love their story, but it's not expanded on that much because I have Thrones. Like I need to focus on the present, but
Mhm.
that's why I think I want to separate it into like its own thing eventually. But we'll see how it goes.
Focus on the present. Laughs in my sequel and prequel series. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yep, kill me. Oh my god. They're way too
Oh god.
developed. They're way too developed for someone who hasn't even written who hasn't even like finished with the main series yet, but it's
I feel
fine.
you. Because for the prequel, I like have it like so planned out already, and I'm like, I don't even know how long it's gonna take for me to finish Thrones because it's around 20 episodes. So yeah, whenever that's done, I'll see like how it goes with the prequel, like what I'm gonna do with it. I'm definitely gonna bring the story out somehow though, because I think it's really fun. But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I have one more question to ask you that I keep forgetting to put on planning docs recently. We don't talk about that. Um, and it's a question that I ask to everybody that I drag into this pod. So, are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay. What advice would you give to aspiring YouTube creators or just creators in general?
just take the leap of faith, to be honest. Like, don't hesitate, because if you do, you're gonna have so many regrets. I feel like as long as you have no, I just as long as you have fun with what you're doing, that's all that really matters. That you're enjoying yourself, that everyone else, like, just have fun with it. Fun is the most important thing, I feel, because we're all just kids on the internet having fun with our stories. Like, why
Mhm.
why stress out? Like, obviously it is stressful, but like just try to have the most fun you can with it. Like, just enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Like, enjoy all the memories, enjoy the friend, like enjoy the calls and everything. Just have fun.
Righty. Well, well. We've been here. We've been here for quite a while. Is there like anything else you want to say before I do the sayonara?
I said I think we're good.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, it was nice having you here.
Thank you for having me. This was really, really fun.
Yeah, no problem. How long have we been doing this for? Like for a good decent amount of time.
Probably like 2 hours or an hour
Well,
and a half.
by the time this comes out, do you think that episode 6 would have been released already?
Probably, honestly, because I'm aiming for August, like late August, so hopefully.
Ah, okay. So, watch Thrones if you haven't, guys. Ah. Okay, let's do this. Look. Thanks for listening to this episode of Creators Lightbulb, hosted by Emblem and today's guest, Pippyman85. It was such an honor to spend this time with you. I wish you the best of luck on progress and audition more, stop doing or something. I hope you also enjoyed our discussions, listener, and found yourself inspired. If you did, please stay alert for the next episode by following Creators Lightbulb on literally wherever you listen to podcasts. My Discord tag is GGSilverEmblem, #8226. My Instagram is @emblem_productions, and my YouTube is GGSilverEmblem. Pippi, plug your socials. Oh.
Let's go. My YouTube is Pippyman85. I have two Instagrams, Pippyman85_official and Thrones_official_page. And my Twitter is Pippyman85, and I think that's it.
I don't know how people can manage more than one Instagram, but like I do, so I'm a liar.
It's very hard.
All right, everybody, I think that's it. Well, I hope you have a good day, and remember to stay bright. Yay!
Oh my gosh. Just in time for Happy's casting call results. It's in 10 minutes.
I was keeping track at the time.